off for the second time in 3 weeks. Philly and Washington are set for this Week 17 rematch. The Eagles go for their 4th sweep of the football team in the last 5 years. It's Week 17, and it's next.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. The enthusiasm for football here on the East Coast always in the air. These folks are ready as their guys get set to match up with the Philadelphia Eagles. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Washington team as they interplay here. They come in at 15-0, 1 win short of a perfect regular season.
And it's something we've only seen a couple of times. Miami in 1972, New England in 2007. We know they're not going to mail it in. They're going to go for it.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
Men ready to do battle. It's time to dance. And we are underway from FedEx Field. Taken from about the 12. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
Tremendous production in college at 2 different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
But first down, Hurts. And he's going to have the hook up to Scott. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. This Washington defense, Charles, terrific in the victory a week ago.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run.
And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Deron Payne in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Well, certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And that is incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And he'll take it just outside the 40. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. They'll be led out by their 4th-year man from Houston. It's Kyle Allen.
He threw for nearly 350 yards. His team won. And one word just kept coming to mind as I watched him during the game. Surgical. Absolutely surgical. That's why he won NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, very precise. The throws maybe as accurate as he's been in some time.
Yeah, I think he feels pretty locked in here. And I think he feels like he can get it done again in this one, too.
Oh, what a juke into space. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On 1st down, right back to Gibson. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. The numbers on the ground for Gibson a week ago. 7 carries, 60 yards.
One thing I do know, teams in the NFL don't treat this like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter. It's been mentioned all week long about going out and getting him the rushing title. He'll see the ball, and he'll see it often.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Allen off the play fake. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And, that one going to wind up incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. 3rd down coming up. They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. To throw, it's Allen. He gets it to Thomas. Still going. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. A big connection on that one. 30 yards.
A very early momentum changer there. Actually a dream killer for the defense because they forced a 3rd down. Felt like they had a good chance to get off the field defensively, and then they got hit with that big play.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Kyle Allen. Excellent work there to get in on the touchdown run. And Washington has taken a 1st quarter lead. Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down and score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stop it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
The extra point by Sly is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Taken from about the 12. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. Just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out. And
now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. On 1st down, it's Scott, and he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. So, Charles, here we are, Week 17. Both of these teams playing their 16th game of the regular season, and obviously for decades, that was the full season. But as we all know, a little strange, still one more game to go next week.
Yeah, Brandon, I think we're both interested to see.
Hurts fumbles it. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there. A run here for J.D. McKissic. Oh, good move. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. Touchdown, Washington. J.D. McKissic with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And Washington is able to stretch their lead. Well, that is a running back who was not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
And that, in a nutshell, shows you what this guy's made of. I mean, most guys in the NFL just can't do that. He absorbed the contact, refocused himself, and made a break for the end zone. And
you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and it's now 14-0. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Eagles offense back out, getting set for this next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Throwing is Hurts. And that's incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. So, Charles, for this offense, we've been talking all year about how difficult it would be to run the table. And you gave me your chances early in the year. You thought maybe 25%. A few weeks ago, you thought closer to 50, but not quite 50. Now here they are, 15-0. This is happening, isn't it?
I think it is, Brandon, because I do believe this team is too invested, too well coached to fall asleep at the switch now. And I think it ultimately benefits them to stay engaged all the way through the season because make it to the finish line, then they get the open week to refresh and re-energize. But if you get off the gas now, that can really hurt you come playoff time.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. To the air, Allen. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Kind of an odd schedule this year. These two teams getting their 2 games in very late in the season. Their first meeting just a few weeks ago, back in Week 15, and it was Washington winning on the road, so they're looking to finish off the sweep here at FedEx Field. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
But their first 2 drives yielded touchdowns, so there's no reason for them to feel like they have to pull back on the reins. They pushed it downfield, looking for another one right there. Didn't get it, but we know they're going to continue to be bold.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. So they went a little cautious there on 3rd and long.
Man, nothing wrong with that. Remember, they're playing with a lead right now. So getting a first down, yes, that would be great. But even more importantly, take care of the football. No turnovers, no big plays for the other team, and keep the clock moving.
The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10. Play action. Now it's Allen. There goes a deep ball. End zone. And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. Ricky Seals-Jones. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And Washington able to stretch that lead out even further. In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield.
And give him credit. He deserves it. But this is such a breakdown defensively. My goodness. From a pass rush perspective, you know that they got to be coming hard on 4th down trying to get to the quarterback. But from a coverage perspective, how do you not see that play developing and it turns into a touchdown?
And that wound up traveling at even 58 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats. Slide for the PAT. And it is now 21-0. So this drive spans 7 plays. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And Reagor will not return it, so it'll come out to the 25 on the touchback. The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year.
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Jonathan Allen, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign.
That's 3 sacks now. That's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Hurts. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
An extra man in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Hurts. He'll get this out wide to Scott. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
Holding offense.
Come on, dog!
Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
Open right side, complete to Reagor. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, We'll step aside and be right back. The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And taken right at the 35. A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, whatever, vertical stretch, deep passes, go routes, right? What's that route you love? What's that route you love? Four verts. All of it working because they're able to find ways to get deep and for him to show off that big arm.
We see some of that big arm right here. He has been great. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
52 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. Second and 2. And he'll give it here to his running back.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, second and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Hands it off out of the gun. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Touchdown, Washington. J.D. McKissic with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And Washington going to add on to their lead. So there, Charles, I mean, a situation where it didn't matter how far he had to run, he was not going to be denied, and he winds up taking this all the way to the end zone.
And that's a second touchdown run of this game, and this one, add a high degree of difficulty to it as well. I'm absolutely marveling at how effortless he makes this look. I mean, let's face it, he had a long way to go, but how about the vision, the creativity with the football in his hands? It's really something to watch.
Yeah, he covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on Next Gen Stats. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that makes the score 28-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And Reagor will not return it, so it'll come out to the 25 on the touchback. Jalen Hurts in this offense trotting back out. The second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. They'll run on first down. Scott, and he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
on 2nd and 12. Hurts. Forced out to his left. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the first down marker. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
This offense has definitely been slow getting out of the gate. It's almost like they missed their wake-up call for this one. No points on their first 2 possessions, and now it's looking like none on this one either.
The Eagles send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Washington offense back out there. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. 2nd and 10. Now Allen slings this deep from McLaurin. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeout. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now a handoff looking right, shedding the tackle. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. And it's Graham here, the one who is still down. And looks like he's in some pain. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And this kick will be touched down as they spot it inside the 45-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. And his throw is incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Hurts. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. An extra man here in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. Hurts sets up to throw it. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
They will run for it with Gainwell. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And Washington will have it on the turnover on downs. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal...
There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Washington. Cam Sims with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Washington offense just continuing to pour it on.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Now Joey Slye for the point after. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And Rager will not return it, so it'll come out to the 25 on the touchback. The Eagles offense going to take over late in this first half. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
He's going to look deep for Watkins. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
This time they stay on the ground. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. And he'll get this underneath to Scott. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. They'll throw now on the final play. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And he will bring this one back. It is a pick 6 for a Washington touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Slye on for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get our tour started out at Venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. And as they approach halftime, it's the Bears who are out in front. Darnell Mooney, a touchdown reception. From there, we head over to MetLife Stadium to check in on the Jets. And you can see they trail in that matchup against the Tampa Bay Bucks. Tom Brady, sharp as ever. He's got 2 touchdown passes. Finally, we'll save the biggest for last as we head to AT&T Stadium to see what's happening with the Cowboys at home in Arlington. And they've got the lead over the visiting Arizona Cardinals. CeeDee Lamb, a touchdown reception. Time now for a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Eagles. And they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for Washington, they had a little more success than their counterparts did in the passing game, as evidenced by the numbers there. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point.
The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway.
And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. The Washington offense ready to go to begin the third quarter. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart.
And a powerful stiff arm. It frees him. And take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
132 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
It was T.J. Edwards who brought him down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington.
Terry McLaurin with his 16th touchdown of the year.
And this Washington offense continuing to add to their lead.
Charles, there aren't really any slow receivers, but there's fast and then really fast. He's really fast, and he showed off the afterburners there.
And that he is because when he took off, I was thinking there's no chance that he can actually reach him with that pass. Yet he did, and he's still sprinting. And just think about what that does for everyone else on his team because his ability to stretch a field opens things up for the rest of the receivers on the team.
Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And that will extend this big lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays.
And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And Reagor will not return it, so it'll come out to the 25 on the touchback. Jalen Hurts in this offense trotting back out.
And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Hurts. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down.
Jonathan Allen, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Here's Hurts to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return.
Time again to see Terry McLaurin in the Washington offense.
Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far, he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now, they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But boy, he can explode at any moment.
Yeah, when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Makes you hungrier.
You get greedy in a good way.
From midfield, here's Allen.
And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
That's caught by Sims.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
And to give this time to the tailback. And not much, maybe a yard down to the 23.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Allen. And that is intercepted. Or was it?
Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Going for it all.
And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up 4th down.
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over.
Washington goes for it, but it does not pan out.
Now the Eagles defense able to hold. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down.
This ball complete to Rager.
And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
2nd down at 4.
They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there. Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
On 1st down, Scott. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Montez Sweat in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
The Eagles send out their punter now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. This is taken at the 23. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10.
Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your quarterback? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Similar to a shooter in basketball, just connected on the previous shot. They run another set for him on the next play. Now, we had a guy who made the catch. They tried to get the big one downfield, but came up empty.
Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, his 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Washington offense just continuing to pour it on.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes, carving them up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone.
Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And the lead will swell by 1 more. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
2nd down and 7.
They'll look to throw.
And the Washington pressure gets to him, and he will go down. Montez Sweat in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion and 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 14. Back to throw here.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off at the 25.
And he will bring this one back. It is a pick 6 for a Washington touchdown.
That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Slide for the PAT.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Looking to throw.
That'll be caught. Reagor with it.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They're going to look to throw. And he will find Scott on the right side, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
On 1st down, Hurts.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now the ball comes loose, and this will get out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage. So fortunately, they're able to hold on to the possession. Throwing again on 2nd down. Hurts. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
Throwing is Hurts.
And that will be incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here we go on 4th down. And it was the stiff arm there that freed him enough to get the first before he's tackled.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
And he will find his man, Samuel. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big play that time through the air. 32 yards. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. And Allen is actually going to throw it here. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
After what they faced during this game where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Again, they'll throw with Allen. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm looking at this with my defensive eyeglasses on because you remember the old days when a tight end saw a linebacker covering him and thought he had a mismatch? But the way they can run nowadays, not necessarily so. They gave it a shot downfield. That one incomplete.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete.
So it's Washington getting the victory here.
And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory.
So for Washington, they have indeed reached a perfect 16-0, but now still one game remains before they join the 07 Pats and the 72 Dolphins as the only teams to finish a regular season unbeaten.